Still taking a minute to log us in. Here we are. So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is your girl, Jay Gaines, motivational speaker, author, and coach. And today we are live interviewing Asia Cartwright of Akilagodiva Enterprises, broadcasting live from wherever she's at in the world today. She's kind of like us, you know, she's all over, so we never know where she's going to be or where she's at. Asia is a former protege of mine. I am so extremely proud of her. We were partners, mentee, mentor for 3.5 years almost. We're still friends, and she is now an accomplished mentor and coach herself, training and coaching students nationwide in this business of real estate investing. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring to the forefront Miss Asia Cartwright. Asia, how are you today?
I'm good, Miss Gaines. Look, and y'all know she's my mentor because I still call her Miss Gaines. It's always respect. Right.
So, how have you been? We haven't talked in a while. Last time I talked to you was in Milwaukee, and then you were in Florida, and you were in Colorado, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's all over the United States.
I love Colorado, Denver. I love Denver, but yes, hey, I'm like my mentor, right? Yeah. Thewholesalediva. I love to travel. I've been really good. So I've been learning a lot of new things. I've been growing. So I'm really excited. I'm happy about my growth, and I'm just overall excited because I actually had a mentor, and so my growth was easy because the way I came in. And so yeah, I've been grinding. That's why you ain't seen me.
Okay, you were kind of baby spoon fed into the business. So for all the viewers out there that don't know you and don't know about our relationship, tell them how we came about meeting, because you were way in California. I was in Dallas. We didn't know anything about each other. You hadn't heard about me. You didn't know about me. So walk us through that story.
So I'm gonna give y'all the fast version for those of you who don't follow me on YouTube to actually see the whole, I think it's like a 20-minute story I did in the airport. I'm from California originally, and I moved to Dallas, Texas, where I'm at now. Mm-hmm. She's talking about she don't know where I'm at. I'm actually at home.
Well, I know where you're at. I wasn't gonna tell everybody.
And so I was going out to a network. Well, it was a networking event. I was going to a birthday party. I met Thewholesalediva. Long story short, I wasn't even supposed to be in real estate. That was when I met Thewholesalediva. It was on events, pageants, and because I'm such a pretty young lady.
There you go. Yes.
I was, we spoke, and I started my events company, and I allowed my job to fire me. And once my job fired me, she called me one day. She said, "Come on, little girl, I got some houses down in Mississippi I need to go look at. I need you to drive me." So I'm like, okay. And she's like, "I'll pay for everything. I know you ain't got no money. You just lost your job." And we went down there, and the whole time she's speaking this language, and I didn't understand it. I didn't know what she was talking about, but she on the phone with somebody, and she going in on them. But I love the way she was going in on them because it reminded me of my mother. And I'm like, oh, she really wants this person to get it. And so as we're driving, she gets off the phone, and so I like ask, like, is this what you're saying? And she like, you kind of get it, little girl. You ain't got all of it, but you kind of get it. And so at that point, we were down there, and I went and I saw the houses, and one of the houses scared me to death. You guys should have seen me. I was holding on to Miss Gaines coming up the stairs.
We met Miko. I'm scared too.
Right. And I'm like, wait. And it was just scary, but it was a fictitious situation. So it wasn't anything that was real, but just seeing that and being there and not even really knowing what was going on, I wanted in on that situation. So, as we're driving back to our hotel, I'm like, how much do this cost? I want to do it. And meanwhile, she got me being a bird dog as we're driving, because I didn't know. When we got to Mississippi, she's driving to the property location, and she's like, get the addresses and this and this and this. And I'm just like, shoot, okay.
We found about 35 or 40 houses?
No, we found well over that.
Way over
I
that,
think
probably.
we're close to about 100.
Okay.
It was also because we went through, I think we went through like 5 different cities and towns, and
Right.
each one we stopped and you were talking to people. Again, she was speaking this language I didn't know. And on our way back, I was just like, I gotta know this. Excuse me. I said, I gotta know this. And so I was just like, what do it cost? She'll tell you, I couldn't afford her. I could not afford her. I went and got it though, because she's worth it. Every dime that I went and got. Don't worry about how I got it. Just know I went and got it.
I don't want to know. Inquiring minds don't want to know.
You know what? And she still don't know to this day. And that's the honest truth. She
Right.
still don't.
So that's a rags to riches story. Now, let's talk about after you took my training and coaching, you actually came to a 3-day seminar that I gave. And after that, you signed up for my one-on-one coaching. And within the first, I would say 6 months with me of coaching, did you hit your 6-figure mark?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So it's definitely possible.
It's possible. Well, I'm not going to say complete 6 figures, but I was a little bit off the 6 figures, but that was only 3 deals that I did my very first deal. So yes. And honestly, yeah, I got my money back though from mentorship. My very first deal, I got it back almost like 3 times, almost 4 times.
3 or 4 times. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people, we're in a dire situation right now with COVID. A lot of people are stressed out. They've lost their jobs. They're stuck at home. They're receiving unemployment or they're not receiving unemployment. They don't know which way to turn. And they're on YouTube because that's all you have now when you're stuck at home is social media. They're on YouTube, they're on Twitter, they're on Instagram, they're on LinkedIn, and they're seeing all these people get into real estate investing now. I'm not going to specifically say a certain area of it, but real estate investing as a whole. What would you say to a new person coming in that's saying, well, you know what, I'm going to try this real estate investing stuff because everybody's making good money, is building generational wealth, and I don't have to go back and work for anybody. What would you say to that person?
I would tell them, like I tell everybody, get help. Get you a mentor, get you a coach, get somebody to hold your hand who do it. Now, and a lot of times people think that, oh, well, you're only saying that because you're a mentor or it's about money. It's really not. It's a bigger picture that that most newbies don't understand. And the bigger overall picture is that they're starting to ban wholesaling or, certain type of real estate investing in a lot of different states. Now, this is primarily because people are saying, oh, well, I could go at this alone. So they're performing surgeries on people's property and they don't have,
a medical degree
or somebody, they didn't go through those courses to be able to perform that surgery. And so that changes the game for seasoned investors. So I would definitely say, get some education, because one thing that I just told my students this last night, I said, people don't realize either you can invest now or you'll invest later, but you will invest.
You will invest. Well, there's through a situation where you're in trouble and then you're going to have to go hire a mentor or coach, or a situation where you're just stumbling through blind.
Right. Or you get sued, because that is the possibility. I mean, that happens.
It's happening. It is happening.
Just to see that.
It's happening now all across YouTube. You see where wholesalers, investors, flippers are getting sued by sellers and their attorneys because they're not doing the business correctly, or they didn't look out for the best interests of the seller. People say that we take advantage of sellers. Address that for us.
Well, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. And coming in, I had a mentor who taught me. So I don't understand what that means. I don't know, because you're supposed to be open and honest with your seller at all times. Right. So I don't understand how I'm taking advantage of someone who needs help.
Okay.
I mean, I can't understand that, because most of the time we're dealing with motivated sellers who need help out of situations. So as far as taking advantage, no, we're helping them with situations.
It's not
you don't say Walmart is taking advantage on Black Friday, do you? No. Absolutely, they giving me a TV for half off, right? That mindset.
And I understand right now, Ohio, Illinois, New Jersey, and Philadelphia, just to mention 4 that I'm aware of, and I try to stay up on what's going on. Those 4 cities right now, those states, you cannot, you're considered brokering or doing an illegal transaction.
In
You do.
Illinois, people say, well, we can do 2 deals a year. Who
Right.
really want to do 2 deals a year? Let's just be honest.
You can't feed your family off of that. Can't pay your bills off of 2 deals a year.
You know
Absolutely.
what? You can.
Well,
you can.
yeah.
But if you got the right help,
Right.
if you got the right person in the deal, it's the right deal. Let's just say that. If it's the right deal, because
So
my
let's
very
just
first
say for
deal,
the sake of, yeah, you're right. Go ahead.
My very first deal, you know, I exceeded my income from my job for a whole year, and I was able to pay up all my bills for a year. So everything else was just income. It was just money because all my bills and stuff was taken care of.
Well, that's true. And how many new investors come into the game and take the income from that first deal or those first 2 or 3 deals and think to pay their bills up for a year, pay their cell phone up, pay their car note up, pay their rent up or their mortgage up, pay their credit card up. Who thinks to do that? Unless you're advised by who?
And I was in the financial world too. So not only did I have a mentor, but I was also in the financial world. So me coming in and getting that type of money, like, hey, I know it's a hit or miss. I've always been a full-time entrepreneur. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. So absolutely. I understand rainy days and let me go ahead and take care of this now versus later.
More and more women are beginning to come into this business. What would you say to females coming into the business as far as what separates us from the old boys network, in your opinion?
The women, I spoke to a lot of women coming in, and I'm going to be very blunt and honest. I'm a Sagittarius, so y'all don't get mad at me. That's just the nature of me.
Okay.
A lot of women who are coming into this business are coming into it, number one, in my opinion, for the wrong reason. But those of us who are in it and know what we're doing, what separates us is the simple fact that we're not just doing it for the money. We're not just doing it to get 300, 400 deals. We're doing it for something more. I know I love doing it because I love helping people. I'm genuinely doing it for the people. So what I would say that separate us is the fact that we're not just rushing trying to do deals and just hurry up and get them done. We're actually really trying to help people.
Okay. I know that a lot of people are saying that some of the techniques that we teach or that we use are outdated or old school. What would you say as opposed to all these new systems that they have out?
I would say keep using your system because I don't like being in nobody's rat race. I like old outdated because the old outdated work for a certain group of people.
Right. It does work for certain people.
And I only want to deal with a select group of people.
Absolutely.
So I love the old outdated system because personally it works for me.
Absolutely.
I'm not in the rat race with everybody else.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. What would you say to millennials now? A lot of millennials are interested. They're curious. So what is this real estate investing thing that everybody's talking about? And how do I pay off all these student loans that I have? What would you say to millennials that want to come into the business?
I would say network. And I would say know what area of real estate investing you want to come in at.
Okay.
And once you know that, find somebody who you can get up under and shadow. Because if you're still in high school, or you're about to graduate, you're young. And so it's a lot of people who are willing to take you under their wing because they do want the next generation to be successful. And they do really want to help the next generation. So I would say find somebody who is working the business or doing the business and on the level that you aspire to be on. And ask that person, can they mentor you? And if they say, well, that come with a cost, then you need to learn the proper verbiage to get yourself some help.
Get yourself a mentor or a coach. Right. I agree 100%. So share with us where you think the real estate investing industry is going in 2021, because we're finished with 2020. I mean, this is what, November? We have one more month left. We're going into the holidays. So people are caught up in the holidays. Where do you think the real estate investing business is going in 2021?
Depending on what part of the business you went down the drain. I have to be blunt. I have to be honest. Like I said, just depending on what part of the business you went down the drain, because it's starting to be oversaturated.
Okay.
Too many people are coming in and they're not seeking the proper guidance. And so in the many certain areas, in my opinion, will be obsolete.
Even bird dogs now. I know that there are a lot of bird dogs, and forgive my language, out here just screwing things up regally.
And what I Tierra Eli, we both love her.
Right. With Bird Dog Real Estate, Facebook.
And one thing that me and Tierra spoke about is, one thing with me is I don't just work with anybody. I train I screen my students just like I screen my property locators, because there's certain things that you have to be able to bring me and not mess up my deal. Because I don't know if it's a deal. You guys don't think that somebody tell you, oh, I got this address, that it's a deal. That's not how it works.
So they get excited.
Right. It could be a potential deal, but once you assess it and realize that is a deal, you don't want your property locator to speak, too soon or say something that's going to jeopardize your potential deal. So, even with bird dogs, they have to be trained because they don't know what they don't know.
Absolutely. And I think Eli, the young lady you're speaking of with the bird dog Facebook
real estate
group, she has over 11,000 followers in her group. And we work very closely with her. You and myself, we work closely with her to try to help coach and guide those bird dogs. Because again, a bird dog can totally mess up a deal for you before it even gets to you as a wholesaler and before you send it out to your cash buyers. If it's not done correctly initially or brought to you correctly, and wrong information is brought to you and you don't do all your detailed research, which you shouldn't have to. The bird dog, like you say, should be trained in how to do the proper research. And a lot of them are not. They just say, well, I can bird dog for you. Yeah, but I need to vet you and I need to train you and I need to coach you.
And I have people, when I send them over my requirements, they look at it and they're like, oh, okay. And they never contact me again. You can go elsewhere and you might be doing big things. However, I don't want just one or two little deals from you. I want to work with you for a long period of time to where we could get to the point where now you can come in and wholesale because you made that much money.
Because the objective of a bird dog should be, if we're thinking correctly, should be to move gradually over into being a wholesaler, and then from a wholesaler to a landlord or owner finance or commercial properties or a rehabber. That should be the goal. The goal shouldn't be to stay a bird dog. I've talked to some people that says, I'll bird dog the rest of my life. Okay, well, if you want to stay in that lane, that's like saying I want to be a crossing guard. I want to work at McDonald's or Jack in the Box the rest of my life. If that's your goal, bless your heart, stay with it. But that should not be the goal if you're talking about seriously being an entrepreneur. Your goal should be to learn bird dogging so you can become a wholesaler and keep moving up that ladder until you get to the 10X level or whatever in the real estate investing career. So let's talk about people being flashy in this business. OMG. I had a conversation the other day with a mentor of mine and we were talking about that. What do you think about people that are too over the top flashy in this business on social media?
I have you, Jill, Taj, Dunn. I have about 5 different mentors, you guys, and all of them are on a certain level, from multimillionaires to 6-figure earners in their business and what they do, because all of my mentors do something different. And I'm honored to say that. And to be honest, out of all of my mentors, I only have one who is flashy. And the reason why he's flashy is because his demographic is celebrities. He sells to the stars. You've talked to Taj, so you know who I'm talking about. He sells to the stars. He sells multi-million-dollar homes. He sells multi-million-dollar cars. That's his lane. So that's why he is who he is. But if you ever spoke to him, he's so humble.
Yeah, he's a very humble person.
He's a very humble man. And so, you know, flash to me, and I don't do it. I don't see none of my mentors doing it. Even on my, like I said, even my mentors who are multimillionaires, Jay included, not to put her business out there, but none of my mentors are flashy in that way for the and that's what they teach me. Hey, you don't, you know, you don't have to be flashy. And so when you guys see me, you're gonna see me in my little Cadillac that the Wholesale Diva bought me. You're gonna see me, you know, you're not gonna see me flashy. Do I have things and do I own things? Absolutely. But flash, that's just selling y'all fluff. That's selling y'all the makeup of it. That's selling you this wig right now. And that's selling you these eyelashes. Like every to where you cashmere.
And
you know,
lip gloss.
That's promotion.
Yeah,
that's lip gloss, that's nails, that's promoting other people's brand to get more money. So it's not even really so much flashing for y'all. It's business, it's a technique, and it's, to me, it's not necessary.
Absolutely. So I noticed, and I don't know if you've experienced this, there are tons and tons of Facebook groups, and I'm not going to name any specific groups, but there are tons of Facebook groups where, let me be politically correct, there are leaders of the groups that allegedly are doing deals and consider themselves mentors and coaches. But when I go in a lot of these groups, there are hundreds and hundreds of individuals begging and pleading for help. What do you think about that?
You know, I see that all the time, and I just wonder, like, was the purpose of the group for other people to respond to them, or was the purpose of the group for these people who say they're doing deals to actually help these people? And so, you know, I don't really know, and I try to be mindful of other people in their groups because I get blocked a lot for sharing my content. But if these people are asking questions and they're asking for help, that's an indication that's a cry for help.
Cry for help.
They're saying, I need help. Will you help me? And so if you started the page, you should be helping them, in my opinion. If that's not what the page is about, say, you know, I'm starting this page because I want other people to be able to help
network,
other people.
Or
to network. Exactly. But again, the issue with that is I'm learning as I'm screening new students. I just took on 5 new students, and I'm learning as I'm screening my students before taking them on. They don't know shit from Shinola.
Nah.
And they're saying, well, this said this and that said that. And I'm like, oh my God,
so confused.
You have no foundation. You have no platform to go by. And it's just like, man, nobody in these groups is saying, you guys, please give them the information in order.
Right. It's not given in any particular order. And you have people responding that, for example, haven't even closed the deal, but they're empathizing or sympathizing with the person. That person doesn't need empathy or sympathizing. That person needs structure. That person needs some direction. They need some leadership. So I'm frustrated that so many people are reaching out to me from these different groups saying, hey, I need mentorship, I need coaching. And when I trace back and look at the group that they're in, I'm like, why is the group not offering them that help? So and you know I don't know.
We think that, and because we're mentors, so we see it on one end, but in all reality, these people might be reaching out to the admins of those groups. And the sad reality might be that they're telling them like, hey, I have this group or this program, but people don't want to invest in it.
You're right. I hadn't considered that. And you're absolutely right.
People so, you know, we're
investing in themselves now. Yeah.
Right.
They just want to just jump in the game, and they think they can jump in the game and pull all your information and everything out of you that you spent years learning and spent thousands of dollars learning, and they want it for free. So something for nothing usually gets you nothing.
Nothing. And you know, and the thing, and I tell people all the time, because I talk to, you know, we both screen our students, and that's where I learned it from you. And the thing that I tell people, you know, I talk to so many different people, and some people, they have the ability to be able to learn how to successfully do something just by listening and learning and, you know, watching videos. But then it's a lot of us that really need that one-on-one
holding.
Absolutely, because the thing about it is you might successfully close your first deal, but then your second deal might be a probate with 12 people on title. Exactly. Now you just told this person that you're going to help them, and now all of a sudden you find out the facts. You can't help them because you're not qualified.
Exactly. And I think that a lot of people jump in this business, and I related the analogy I always use is they jump in the deep water and can't swim.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they start drowning, sometimes someone will reach in to help them to pull them out. And when that person tries to pull them out, they pull that person down with them. Instead of saying, hey, thank you for helping me. I appreciate it. What can I do to reciprocate for you helping me? They don't look at it that way. Have you experienced that?
You know what? No, because I don't work with those people.
Okay. You say, I know.
That's just me being very honest, because at the end of the day, I know what I know. And if I'm helping you, then it has to benefit me as well.
Okay.
It's not personal, it's business.
Absolutely. Why do you think people have such difficulty closing their first deal?
Because they don't have help. And they don't know so much. Oh my God. Oh my God, Miss Gaines. Oh my God.
GAWD.
God. They don't know so much.
So much.
They don't look. Every student I've trained in these past, I want to say 3 weeks. Right. Very first day, they be like, oh my God, I didn't know so much. It's so much I didn't know.
Exactly. About this business.
And this is, look, and this is only reading the first 4 pages of my manual. In my manual, 30 some pages. And after the first 4, they be like, oh.
Scratching their head.
Yeah. Nobody's told me this, because you're not paying for this. And I'm just going to keep it 100. $20,000 because I know a few of your students who's paid that type of money. $20,000 don't even get you what the Wholesale Diva and I will give you for training. And I know that just because I know some of her students who have paid that type of money and wasn't successful because they didn't even have they didn't have all the knowledge, and they've paid the big bucks.
Or didn't apply the knowledge.
Or didn't apply it.
Didn't apply the knowledge. That because students will come and pay mentors. And I have people I'm interviewing and screening right now that said they paid this name person or that name person. I paid them $10,000 or $20,000 or $30,000, even $30,000, but they didn't implement. So a lot of times people say it's the mentor's fault. It's not the mentor's fault. It's the student. They say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Yes, the teacher will appear, but if you don't execute or take action or follow the instructions of the teacher, you will not be successful. And I think that's the downfall of a lot of people.
Students think they're ready, but when you sit with them and they start working and they start actually setting up their business and they see exactly how difficult certain steps are more than others, they don't want to do this anymore. It's so easy to say, I'm going to fall off and go do something else.
Well, how many moving parts this business has.
Exactly. It's not that it doesn't work. It's the simple fact that that person got discouraged, and that's not on the mentor. That's on that person.
On that student. Exactly. Exactly. So I know that you travel all over the United States now, and you coach and teach a lot of people. How can people locate you on social media?
So right now, actually, because my birthday is coming up in 2 more weeks, December 6th.
Right, December 6th, Sagittarius.
So a special, because Miss Gaines, I really want people to get this business. And so I'm running a special $500 off my level 2 mentorship.
Oh my God, 500 off. That's a lot.
Yeah, I really want them to get it because I know what I know.
Okay.
And because I know what I want, I want them to take advantage of it. So I'm offering $500 off my VIP mentorship. And if anybody wants to take advantage of that, you guys can call me or text me, 858-381-0508. And once you text me, I'll get you over to my YouTube, or you can just find me on YouTube at Akila Buys Houses.
Okay. And we're going to post that information. I wasn't able to post it in the, I'll go back in and edit the notes and put it in the description box on how they can reach out to you. Is there anything that you would like to share with our viewers as far as breaking into this business post-COVID?
If you guys want to get started and you're not financially equipped to get help, or you know what? Wait a minute. Before I say this, because it made me think of something really quick. I spoke with a young lady the other day. She said this man was helping me prior to COVID. Something happened and she had to kind of fall back. And when she went back, the man told her, well, I have students to train now, so I can't help you. And he was helping her originally for free. And so in that moment, I said, see, this is what people have to understand. Somebody might be willing to give you their time for a temporary moment.
Right.
And after that moment is gone, you know, hey, now you got to pay like everybody else, or I don't have time for you. And I noticed that that's happening a lot. You guys vet the people who you're working with. If you coming in this business as a property locator, or you want to come in as a wholesaler,
right,
maybe you should start off property locating so you can make sure that you have the basics. If you don't want to start at the bottom, get you a mentor so you can say, I'm here. If you don't want to get a mentor, get with somebody who you can actually intern with or shadow, you know, through their process, and do that long enough to where you understand the business. If you don't know what contract to use a TREC form. Y'all not ready. I hate when I see that. What contract you use? A TREC form for you, because you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
So I would just definitely get help. It don't matter who it is, get help. But let me tell y'all, if y'all looking on us, if you on a certain level and you coming from my mentor, be ready. Be ready, because this is what she does. You see me? This is what this woman right here does. She makes these. Okay.
Make coaches and mentors. One of the things that I want to put out there for people who are watching or listening, when you go to college, you might not know when you first go to college what your major is that you want to pick out. But eventually, as you get into your sophomore, maybe your junior year, you decide, okay, I specifically want to be an engineer. I specifically want to be a psychologist. Mine was, I wanted to be a psychologist. I specifically want to be a teacher. I specifically want to go into business management or whatever. I think that in the real estate investing business, you should find a mentor or coach that teaches what you want to learn. I find so many people that will get a mentor or coach that teaches everything. Look, all across the spectrum. Now you're confused. You are confused.
Ooh, I'm gonna drink to that.
Let's raise our glasses and cups to that. If you specifically want to learn wholesaling, find a mentor or coach that specializes in wholesaling. If you want to be a landlord, find a mentor or coach that specializes in teaching you how to be a landlord. If you want to buy commercial properties, find that mentor that teaches how to buy buildings. If you want to do owner finance or rent to own, find a coach or mentor that specializes in that. You guys come out of these seminars and these workshops and these coaching sessions so confused. And then I'm looking at what you're posting on social media, or I'm listening to the phone calls that I'm getting or the messages I'm receiving. And I'm like, oh my God, this person is so confused. I had a person ask me the other day. Now, mind you, this person has a mentor and a coach. Listen carefully. Has a mentor and a coach. But they asked me, what contract do I give to my realtor after I get the house under contract with the seller? Or no, what realtor should I give my contract to? And I said, wait, hold up. You tell me you were training in wholesaling? Yeah. Okay. I couldn't even begin to formulate my mouth or my words to ask the questions I need to ask because this person was so confused. And then you have people come with questions like, well, I went out and I found 10 houses when I was driving. What do I do next? What were you out looking for houses for? What was your exit strategy? What was your game plan? What are you trying to do?
You know what? I was talking to my student. You know, I give all my students that questionnaire, that quiz in the beginning, because everybody talks to us and they all know what they're doing, right? And I noticed that every time I give people this quiz, I said, well, how long is it going to take? It shouldn't take you long. I'll give you 10 minutes. Then they start doing this. Or they answer, I don't know, or they don't put no answer. And I tell them all the time, one thing about me is I will tell my students, because I'm real, why were you talking to sellers? You had no business talking to somebody and you don't know what you're talking about.
Or didn't have an exit strategy ready.
Well, they're not even ready to enter. Why are they exiting? You shouldn't even be thinking on accident.
You said, why are you entering? You better repeat that again, girl. They didn't hear you.
That just blows my mind, the amount of people who are just talking to sellers because, oh, well, I heard this and well, I heard this on YouTube and I heard them say this and this and this. Okay, well, what was the next step? Did you hear that part? Were you not listening? Or did they not tell you? Because that's a sign that you shouldn't have been listening to that if you don't know what's next.
I think that's the major thing that people are missing. A to Z. What do you need to do? And then in that order, you can't do certain things out of order. I had someone the other day that said to me, well, I talked to the seller and he said he's interested in selling his property. So I went and talked to a buyer and told him the address and everything and asked him, would he be willing to buy the house from me? I said, oh my God. So tell me what went wrong with that picture, Adrian.
Y'all making me hot. I'm gonna have to turn on my AC. This ain't gonna work. Whew. This sorrow a lot stronger than I thought, girl.
Woo. This person gave the buyer everything.
That person had that person has no business in this business.
Right. I said that's the same thing.
That person have no business going at this salon. Nobody does.
Exactly.
You just don't. You know, it's like you go to the doctor. I don't know if a lot of people are familiar with this, but a lot of times, even now, when you go to the doctor, the nurse's aide is in the room with the doctor for a reason.
Right.
Y'all the nurses' aides and we the doctors. Y'all the aides, we the doctors. This is why we need to be in a room.
Right. Because you have no idea what you're doing.
But you need to take notes of what's going on.
No idea what you're doing. I agree 100%. Well, this has been interesting. It has been enlightening. I hope that this information, when shared out over social media, all social media platforms, that it will enlighten people and probably bring them back to reality. You know, take the red pill or the blue pill, you know, come out of the matrix. You cannot become a doctor, a lawyer, Indian chief without some coaching and some type of mentoring. And select the right mentor or coach.
I was watching, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but real quick, I was watching this thing, I don't know if it was on Netflix, and it just came on my TV, and it was called Naked Hustle. Okay. Now, the reason it stood out to me because, you know, it had to do with hip hop and R&B culture and why, you know, they grasped to strippers or dancers. And one thing that the guy said, he said, listen, no matter what you do, get you a mentor. And I think his name was like Styles P or something. He's a big time in the music industry, older gentleman. Okay. And he said, you know, no matter what industry you're in, you need a mentor. There's nobody who is successful who doesn't have mentors. And
even the mentors have mentors. You have 5, I have 3. A mentor has to have a mentor. And my mentors have mentors. You know?
Absolutely. And you know, I just
respect the mentorship. Yeah.
I said that on one of my videos yesterday. I said, but you know, luckily I haven't touched a lot of different types of deals in wholesaling, just for the simple fact of what you taught me. So going in, I kind of know what deals I'm going to deal with. But at the end of the day, if anything were to ever come my way, I'm so grateful because I do have mentors like you. I do have a mentor like Taj, who if I can't get a hold of one of you, I can get a hold of the other and say, hey, I need help with it.
Right.
And people have a tendency to say, well, you've been in this game for 4 or 5 years and you don't know. I'm never going to know everything. That's why I do have mentors, because obstacles have come up even with me wholesaling under your mentorship in one of my deals. The last one I was able to do in Illinois. And you were like, oh, you handled that like a champ. You were like, I'm so proud of you because you know that lady, she came at me.
She came at you.
And I
wanted to beat her up myself, but I couldn't.
But I handled it. And my mentor did not get on the phone not one time. I handled everything. She just heard.
Yeah. I just listened.
You know, that's why. Because it's a lot. I let my students hear and they be like, oh, I don't know if I could have did that. That's why you have a mentor, though. You don't have to do that.
You don't have to walk through the same mud or step in the same dog poop or, you know, go through the same drama, because we've done it already and we are here to help you not experience it. And I hope that people can begin to respect and appreciate that. A
Well, if
mentor
they
in
don't, they'll be
whatever
getting that
business.
license real soon. They'll be paying that 1,500 for that license real soon.
And renewals every year. Absolutely.
And y'all pay y'all brokers. Don't forget them. They need that
Absolutely.
6%.
Split that 6%. So Asia, at the end of our interviews, we always do what we call a lightning round with our guests. And that's where I ask you a series of questions or make some statements. And you say the first thing that comes to your mind. So are you ready for our lightning round?
Let's do it.
Okay. One thing though, I want to run by you real quick. One of my viewers reached out to me on Messenger this morning and said, can you set up something where maybe once a week you go on live and do some Q&As? So I want to talk with you after we get off the live about doing that possibly. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay.
All right. So you ready for the lightning round?
Let's go.
Favorite food?
Mexican.
Favorite car?
Porsche.
Favorite color?
Orange.
Favorite movie?
White chicks.
Favorite book?
The Secret.
Favorite city?
California.
Favorite store?
I don't want to say it.
Lightning round.
I don't want to say it online.
Okay.
Y'all know too much about me.
Okay. Well, you and I know. Favorite junk food?
Chips, hot Cheetos.
Favorite ice cream?
Butter pecan.
Female role model?
The Wholesale Diva.
Male role model?
I'm sorry. I can Master P.
Okay. You just inherited $1 million. Tell us the first 3 things you would do, not buy, do with the $1 million.
The first thing I would do is invest. The second thing I would do is pay off any and all debts if I had any. The third thing I would do is donate.
Okay. Great answers. Well, this has been a phenomenal interview. I appreciate you taking time out of your day. Cocktail time for you. Mimosa time, and you were drinking straight wine. We might have to go on and form a. Have you seen the Queen's Talk or something like that on YouTube? I can't even remember the name of it, but we're going to talk about that. We might have to do that because everybody's wanting us to get on and share information and answer questions. So we might do that. So thank you so much, Asia of Akilagodiva Enterprises. We really appreciate you being on the show. Is there anything that you would like to leave with our viewers as a parting statement?
Well, I just want to say thank you for having me. And I just want to say, if you really want something, go get it. But educate yourself on whatever it is, just educate yourself. Make sure that you have all the steps and go for it. All the facts and go for it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jay Gaines, motivational speaker, author, coach, real estate investor trainer, and one of my proteges, Miss Asia Cartwright of Akilagodiva Enterprises. She's a very successful mentor and coach at this time. So if you need any advice or any coaching and training in real estate investing, don't hesitate to reach out to her. We're going to put more of her information in the description. And namaste.
Namaste.